गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणि नमोस्तुते नारायणि नमोस्तुते नारायणि नमोस्तुते. So same way, Om Narayanam Namaskritya, repeat. नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. ॐ नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. This is the invocation mantra, and here the no study ever starts without a invocation or mangalacharan, correct? So this is the invocation, and this Narayan Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam, we'll talk about it, but this is because all scriptures in all religions are considered divine. We are seeing only book, but these are Purushas, they are Devatas, just like the Gita Maya we call, the goddess Gita. Similarly, Himalayas are called as Himavan, and so on. All our rivers, we have a deity. Krishna, Godavari, Saraswati, Ganga, Jamuna, they have their own unique characteristics and they are divine characteristics. So, Taran karne wale hain. And in this way, we don't consider neither those rivers, nor the earth, nor the scriptures. We consider them as inert. We consider them as living. And when you approach them, then your interaction with them also will be different. You will not touch it with your feet. You will not throw it anywhere you feel like. Chal bhai, pheng diya wahan pe kitab. No, you will respect because it is Saraswati. So then we come, because in these texts are all the contemplations, all the thoughts, great thoughts of contemplation. They are given there by which you can come to yourself. How can you disrespect it? So when a person comes with the proper mental attitude towards the scriptures, then only the Mother Shruti, this is called Mother Shruti, Mother Shruti, Mother Smriti, Mother Gita, they will bless, they will shower their blessings on us. So if we are going to study, first we understood the philosophical side of it. Not in detail, more to come, but as a foundation. Now when we go into it, we come with a mental attitude. With that attitude, with that surrender, with that single pointedness, we approach the Devi Suktam, the Devi Mahatmyam, and invoke the grace, as it were, and so that we can get the Ashirwad from them and continue to abide in that eternal, perennial source of knowledge, which is the self, which she is also. So this only comes, the greater the surrender, the greater the correct, more correct the mental attitude. You keep refining it, keep refining it, keep refining it. Because if you don't refine it, world is going to catch you. We have to refine it. Why? To discover that this world is also nothing but her, nothing but divine. Either you accept it from the beginning, or you withdraw from it and then rediscover it to be divine. Two ways are there. The two approaches are, one is the Shankara way. Neti, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this. And then you come to Anvay. Anvay means I am this also, I am that also, I am everything. This is, the other way is the Natha Sampradaya way. This is the Natha Sampradaya way. Tantra comes in Natha Sampradaya. This is Kashmiri Shaivism. And in Kashmiri Shaivism, from beginning, the world is taken to be nothing but expression of the divine. It is never considered that you have to drop it. And therefore the Tantra, how to rediscover this world while living in it, while performing all your duties, or while being in it where the life has put you, and rediscovering it to be nothing but an expression of the divine. Because truth is what? Truth is that the eminent cause of this creation and the transcendental cause of this creation is nothing but that truth. The truth alone is the material cause, upadan karan, and the, what is the other one? Nimitta karan. Upadan karan and the nimitta karan. So everything is divine, but we don't have that eyes to see it. To develop those eyes, we need some other power, we have to invoke some other power. We have to invoke, and what is that power? That power is the power of integration, the power of single-pointedness, the power of surrender, the power of blessings, the power of grace. How do you do it? We are showing it to you. Whether you take this, whether you take Gita, any scripture, Upanishad for that matter, any scripture you take, this is the attitude towards it. And here we say, Om Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamuderaye. And the salutations are offered to Lord Narayana, who is the indweller of all the beings. And who is he? He is the ever wakeful witness of all thoughts, emotions, actions, etc. Everything, moods, deeds. Ever he is watching. If you recognize that he is ever watching, you will not do anything wrong in life. You will be, because you know he is watching. Every thought he is watching, every emotion is watching, whatever is going on in your mind, which other may not come to know, but you know he is watching. You will be very careful, you will be very alert. And therefore, we have to recognize that Narayana, my salutations to that Narayana, who is the substratum, who is the eternal witness of the waking, of the dream, as well as the deep sleep. Next is the salutations offered to Nara. These Nara, Narayan were the two sages. The Bhagavan, the Lord, was born as Nara Narayan, two sages in Badrinath. When we go there, we'll tell you the incident. And who is this Nara? Nara is he who has separated himself from the Supreme Being Narayana. This is the those who Parna Savaja Sakhaya, Mundaka Upanishad. This is the two swans on the Mansarovar lake. This is the two within you also. The individual and the total. Where the wave is, there the ocean is also. But the wave is not recognizing the ocean. So whose fault is it? So two are always there. Actually it is one, but because of our ignorance, because of our extrovertedness, we have as if divorced ourselves from that Narayana and due to ignorance. And as a result of this divorce, we find ourselves conditioned, and as a result of this conditioning, we live a life of mortals. And what is the life of mortal? Born in creation, only to die in creation. What is the life of immortals?
Never born, never die.
Huh?
Never born, never
No,
die.
no.
Born as a mortal, die as a divine.
True immortality is never born, never die, isn't it? Yeah. But now don't think devas are immortals. They are only relative immortals. Why? Because as long as this creation is there, there. So compared to us, they are immortals, isn't it? So in this manner, you understand. And always, and because of that, sometimes the Nara is enjoying, sometimes he is suffering, sometimes he is swayed, sometimes the happenings in his life are too powerful and strong, and he is not able to understand what is happening, and continuously at the mercy of the pairs of opposites called the duality, and such is and what is that? Heat, cold, hoo, ha, ha, hunger, thirst, pain, honor, dishonor, etc., etc. And salutations to this Nara. Why? Why to this human being salutations? Because only through this, only this Nara can recognize, merge himself, and remove himself from this cycle of birth and death. Only he can. Devatas can't. Only the Nara can. Only the human can. And all he has to recognize is that I am either surrender to Narayana or surrender to the Narayani. Because both of them hold the Nara as the beginning part, isn't it? So in this way, now the third salutations are offered to the Narottama. And who is this Narottama? The verse, what did the verse say? Om Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam. Nara Uttamam. What is Nara Uttamam? Nara Uttamam is that Uttamam means the bestest. The bestest among the men. So first we offered salutations to the Nara. Why not spree? Don't go into all that, okay? Nara, you are all Nara. After that you become Purusha and Stri. And then among these mortal beings, Narottamam is he who has recognized the futility of pursuing the material world, who has found the futility of finding happiness in this material world, in this empirical world, and thus turns his attention towards the divine and starts contemplating, starts discriminating between the truth and the false, between the real and the imaginary, and all this he is able to do it because he is able, and as a result, not because, as a result, he is able to withdraw his mind from the world and place it at the feet of the divinity. And this way, through contemplation, shravanam, mananam, medidhyasanam, or contemplation or meditation, listening, reflecting and contemplating, meditating, he is able to rediscover his true nature, which is that of Narayana. Therefore, our salutations to him. First salutation for the Nara was because first it is such a rare thing to get a human birth. And Narottamam because it is really a great grace that such a human being, in spite of all the challenges in life, in spite of being rubbed the wrong way from left, right, up, down, inside, outside, emotionally, physically, intellectually, financially, spiritually, because you can come across any type of gurus who take you for a ride. So many people are there we have come across. So yet he doesn't lose faith and he surrenders to the Lord. So therefore, Narottamam. Then next one was what? Devim Saraswatim. Devim Saraswati. Next is our salutations to the goddess Saraswati, who represents the knowledge aspect in the Lord Narayana, and by whose grace if you are understanding the difference between Nara and Narayana, Nara and Nara Uttama, we are able to understand. It is only by her grace. If you have understood, have you understood? Have you understood the difference between Nara and Narottama? नींद आ रही है, फिर आंसर करो, हाँ या नहीं? इतना सत्संग करने के बाद अभी भी दुनिया में आंसर्स हैं क्या, मिले क्या? हाँ, तो anyway, so it is only by her grace that the distinction between the Nara, the Narayana and the Nara Uttama, we are able to decipher, able to understand, able to illuminate, because she has blessed us with her knowledge, so we are able to appreciate it and hence become a seeker. Then comes the Vyasam, Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. Next word is Vyasam. Vyasa means, not means, Vyasa is sage, Maharishi Vedvyas. Maharishi Vedvyas is the one who wrote all the Puranas, all the 18 Puranas and the 18 sub-Puranas. And the Vyas means the one who expands. This seat where I am sitting, where am I sitting? Swamiji, you are sitting on a swivel chair. No, I am not sitting on a swivel chair. It is Vyasapit. Vyasapit is that from where even one word is taken and expanded to the benefit of those who are listening. Ideas are presented, explanation is presented, each sutra is taken, Yog Chitta Vritti Nirodha Iti Yoga, one sutra. It's a compact statement and that word is then expanded. Here the even smaller than that was still so long. Here the word Vyasa was taken or the word Narottamam was taken and we expanded it. That is Vyas. And similarly, our Maharishi Vedvyas, he took the Vedas and he expanded them and put them into the form that we see today, all the Puranas, because he knew what the type of people are coming. They will not have the best of the intellects and therefore same knowledge, it requires great acumen, great grace to put the knowledge of the Vedas in the form of stories, in the form of mythology, and present the same knowledge to the human mind. So when we see this, why are we studying Adhyatma Ramayana? Same purpose. We could have studied, we did Ramayana, normal Ramayana. Then why are we doing Adhyatma? Because we want the philosophical take on it. Who wrote it? Who wrote Adhyatma Ramayana? Maharishi Vedvyas. See? So in this manner, the Rishi, even those, like our Maharishi Vedvyas ji or any other Rishi, there are Jaimini Sutras, there is Patanjali Sutra, there is Panchadashi, there are so many masters who have written. The great thing about them is when they are putting pen to paper and writing all these, they don't forget, while writing, they don't forget the one which should not be forgotten. Our problem is, while talking, suddenly, abhi main kya bol raha tha? I forget. If some distraction comes, I forget my train of thoughts, isn't it? Is it something to be proud of? No. Hey, has ke nikal do. That is not but it is not right. Mahatmas, such rishis, they kept the truth as their point of focus, and keeping that in mind, they wrote the commentaries and wrote the Puranas. So throughout the Puranas, you will see the truth is never compromised. Never. Truth is all. Even if you take our Durga Saptashati, truth is not compromised. So many words are given, so many Rakshasas have come, so many Devatas have come, even Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh have come, even she has taken fantastic forms, but the truth is not compromised. And what happens in our life? We also take different forms, father, mother, daughter, sister, Kali, Mahakali. We also take worker, employer, employed, driver. But we lose the one that we should not forget. And therefore, our life becomes a mess. And therefore, the prayer, before we enter into the text proper, the Purana. And it is, and in this way, it is this Rishi who does not lose his sight on that one reality, and thus he, in his eyes, Narayana, the Nara Uttama, and the Devi Saraswati are one and the same, because it is one absolute appearing as many. Therefore, he is very easily, he is able to write the truth from Ganesha's point of view, then from Shiva's point of view. When he writes from Ganesha's point of view, it is called Ganesh Puran. From Shiva's point of view, Shiva Puran. From Devi's point of view, Devi Puran. From Brahma's point of view, Brahma Puran. And the truth remains the same. He is writing from everyone. 18 Puranas plus 18. Narad Puran. But he doesn't lose the sight of the truth. What happens to us? If we are talking about our son, we forget that we are the woman. If we are talking about our grandchild, we forget we are the man or the woman. If we are talking about our work, we do not remain hooked to the truth. That is where our problem is. And she will help us. If when we chant this, or chant or read or listen, with this understanding. And in this way, while we are going through the explanations, there will be many contradictions, and it is only by her grace that we are able to comprehend it, not by our own free will. And all the Puranas, all the 18 plus 18, how many total? 36. All 36 Puranas, some chapters are exactly the same. What do you mean? Markandeya Purana doesn't begin like the Devi Purana. But some headings of the chapters are exactly the same. Every Puran is talking about, usually it begins with the primary creation. Then second comes the secondary creation. What is primary creation? The Ishwar Prakriti. What is secondary creation? Your creation. The world, yeah. So, in Sanskrit, the first part is called as Sarga. The primary creation is Sarga. And the secondary creation is called as Pratisarga. All technical, but it is, when we are doing it, we might as well. Then third, all Puranas talk about the genealogy of the gods, all the Devatas, how they came about. How did Brahma Vishnu come about? How did Kartikeya come about? How did Ganesha come about? How did various Varuna Devata, Agni Devata, etc., etc. All of them, from where did they come? They talk. All the Puranas talk about that, and that is called as Vamsha. Vamsha, our understanding of Vamsha is our lineage, isn't it? But here we are talking about lineage of all the gods. Then the fourth one is the cosmic epochs, the various manvantaras. Manvantaras, we will look at when we get into Markandeya Puran, we will see how he experienced it. So every day of Brahmaji has 14 manvantaras. One day of Brahmaji has 14 manvantaras. Every manvantara has a Manu. We are right now in we are in Vaivasvata Manvantare. We are in Vaivasvata Manvantara. I think it's the seventh one. So it talks about the manvantaras, the time scale and the time span, how it all came about and all that. And lastly, it talks about the dynasties in the human race. So even in Srimad Bhagavad Puran, which is considered to be very great, in that we see from what do you call, from Manu up till today, everyone's, all the kings, no other country has that genealogy. Right from beginning till today, whether you take it the Surya Vansh or you take the Chandra Vansh. You go into in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavad, 9th canto of the Srimad Bhagavad Puran is the Ramayana, Rama's life. And the entire, from past till that moment is given. Same way with Krishna also, with various other kings. When we talk about Sagar, we talk about everyone. Everyone. So this is the Vansha Charitam. Vansha, the dynasties are talked about. And Bolo Markandeya Rishi Bhagavan ki Jai. So with this we enter into the Markandeya Purana. It is in Markandeya Puran that we find Devi Bhagavad. And this Markandeya, he is one of the great sages. He is a Chiranjeevi. He is still there today. All the Saptarishis and Markandeya Rishi, they are here even today. And so I told you that he is Chiranjeevi. And how did he become Chiranjeevi? Means who has defeated the Lord of Death. Therefore he has become Chiranjeevi. If you see the movie, the serial of Hanumanji when he was child and he was growing up, he defeated Yama and Yami. Yami came and he defeated her. But हमारी क्या औकात है? How will you defeat Yamaraj? Yamaraj kya? Forget, only little bit darkness. What about Yamaraj? Yamaraj का आएगा तो छुट्टी हो जाएगी. From all the holes the water will come out. Something heavy is coming. That's the bull of Yamaraj. Oh my God, Swamiji, how can you say like that? So, our how do we conquer the death? We cannot understand this philosophically. We have understood many times, but here it is through story. What is immortality? Conqueror of death is immortality, isn't it? So can a human being living, born from a mother's womb, can he become immortal? Yes, he can or she can. It is possible. How? This is one example. So here it says that because he defeated victory over Yamraj and the Lord of Death, and later Markandeya Maharaj or Rishi Markandeya, he also vanquished Indra, the king of gods, and who had tried to unsettle him while he was doing austerities and penance. Just like Indra tried to disturb Vishwamitra, Vishwamitra got disturbed initially. But then he corrected, again refined himself, corrected his course of action in life. He did not dwell on what had taken place. He began with greater gusto and became a Brahma Rishi eventually, isn't it? So, do we have within us that type of gusto, that type of courage, that type of invocation of focused energy that nothing is going to disturb me in my life to reach the goal? So Markandeya was like this, and this won him the praise of Lord Narayana, who blessed him with an intimate experience of the cosmic Maya. Lord Shiva, pleased with his accomplishments, bestowed on him the preceptorship of the Puranas. Coming down to the human realm, we see him moving about like a gentle breeze of the spring season, helping and consoling and the tormented minds of righteous persons during their periods of trial and turbulence, and imparting knowledge to the seekers. So this Markandeya can come anywhere. And whom does he help? Those who are seeking the truth but are facing trials and tribulations. The story of Markandeya is found in various other Puranas also. And they are the Padma Puran, the Bhagavad Mahapuran, the Mahabharata, the Markandeya Puran. In all of them we see mention of Rishi Markandeya. How did he conquer death? First, it is very funny. Some parts are given in some other Puranas, but in Markandeya Purana, this part is not given, that what happened to him when he was young. It is given in Padma Purana. So here, in the Padma Purana, it is told that his parents were sage Mrukandu and Mrudvati. Their mother was Mrudvati and the father was Mrukandu. Mrukandu had derived his name because he used to, from the fact that herds of deer used to rub their body against his body. And therefore, who is that fellow? Who is that sage? Oh, the deers who come and rub their body against his body. So that is, he is called Mrukandu. There must be some etymological meaning behind that. Mruga. Mruga and Kandu. So there comes our Sanskrit scholar. Mruga, but because the Ga becomes Ka here. So Mruga is the Sanskrit word for deer, and Kandu is the scratching. So there we go. I didn't know that. I didn't think about it, but thank you. Bolo Mammi Maiya ki. So Mrukandu and Marudvati. And Mrukandu, ये हमने बता दिया. And they used to do it because out of fun, out of love, there was no animosity within him, the sage Mrukandu. And this pious couple, they did not have a child for a long time. And when they were praying, we must all, again here it is told, we must invoke a child as an offering to the Lord. So they did lot of prayers to Lord Shiva, and eventually Lord Shiva appeared before them and offered an option. That what is the option? They could either have a unintelligent son who will live for very long time, or they can have a wise son, a virtuous son with a short life. Which one do you want, Mrukandu and Marudvati? They said, we want the second option, not the first one. We don't want Buddhu living for a long time. We want Akalmand living for a short time. अकलमंद मीनिंग जिसकी अकल मंद होती है. It's oxymoron. It means intelligent, but each word, if you take it, it means totally opposite. So the sage, both of them opted for the second option, and eventually the all virtuous, all-knowing son, even though he was short-lived, was born to both of them, and the Lord therefore granted them a son and endowed with all the good qualities and intelligence and a life of only 16 years. Who else was given 16 years life? Shankaracharya. Who gave him extra 16 years? Maharishi Vedvyas in Badrinath. In the first 16 years, he perfected himself. In the second 16 years, he spread the knowledge. When he turned 32, he vanished. And at 32, I joined the ashram. To spread the word. True, I'm not joking. I was 32 years old that time. At age 32, he also was crucified. Then only we came into existence. At age 32. So, and as the time passed, the young boy became a handsome boy and came to be known as Markandeya, the son of Mrikandu. The child was very, very intelligent. Very quickly he mastered all the scriptures. And in those days, whatever was available, he quickly mastered it. And everyone enjoyed holding him in their eyes because he was so beautiful, he was so handsome, he was so pure, and everyone wanted to know him, everyone sang praise of him, everyone admired him. However, as the reals passed by, the boy, as he was approaching his 16th year, the parents became more and more agitated because they knew that this boy is going to die at age 16. And what a wonderful gem of a son we have, and at age 16 he is going to die. Arey yaar, ab kya kare? And realizing how quickly his life was running out, Markandeya saw the despair on the faces of his parents and asked, why are you, he didn't know that, why are you so sad? Everything is wonderful. And then they must have, and when he inquired about its cause and came to know that he has only few years to survive, at age 16, then the parents must have told him, Lord Shiva has blessed you, you came. They asked us a whole story, what we just said. And and when he came to know, immediately he left his parents and went for intense austerities in tapas. Okay. Just like you have left, in spite of all the attractions, home, but you have left everyone and come here. It is tapas for you, sitting on the chair for 6, 7, 8 hours and listening to this fellow. See, it is tapas. And remain focused. You have to find new ways. Eyes are open, you are looking interested, but inside you are sleeping. It is great tapas. I am saying it because we practice that in front of Swamiji. You have only 5 lectures. We used to have 7 lectures every day. And we used to sit on the floor. Oh man. Initial days were very, very hard. And when I learned how to sit in Padmasana and properly, and then now body is still, the moment body becomes still, what do? go to sleep. Lecture आया वही बोल रहा है यार. And then suddenly you go and you want to show that you are not sleeping, you are meditating. Swamiji's words had put us into meditation. That's the type of eyes you show him, you know. He's not fool. he can see us through and through. So within a short period, he reached the exalted state of oneness with the Lord in meditation. Already he was smart, he was quick at learning. He must have learned. कहाँ गया मेरा रुमाल? And very quickly he came to be one. He had the darshan of the Lord. He reached the state of oneness with the Lord, and and when the 16th year approached and the last day came, the last moment came, when that moment came, who will come? How does he come? As heaviness on the heart, on the chest. डरना नहीं. He came, and when he came, he could catch Markandeya. He throws the loop on the soul and wants to take him away to his abode to see where he will go, heaven or. He could catch Markandeya. Why? Because he was one with the truth. So there is no soul there. The soul has realized that it is the infinite, immortal being, the all-pervasive being. Now whom will he catch? अरे ये क्या हो गया? ऐसे कैसे हो गया? And in this way, came to take away his life. But this young Markandeya was deeply immersed in the worship of Shiva, and that is why it is told that prepare. Yes, someone called me yesterday, Swamiji, Monday my mother's funeral is there, please come and say a few words. तो क्यों करते हैं? मैंने कहा उधर बताऊंगा, मैं यहाँ पे फ़ोन पे नहीं बताऊंगा. क्यों करते हैं फ्यूनरल पे, क्यों बोलना चाहिए? So we have to prepare. People talk about reading Garuda Puran when person dies, so that the soul can go to heaven and not hang around the house or hang around the people that the soul was attached to. That may be true, that may not be true. If scriptures are saying it, must be true. But you have never seen that soul, isn't it? You have never seen the soul. Huh? No, some people do. Some people do see, but it is there because of their attachment. They are able to conjure up that particular person. In the end, don't forget the rule. The whole creation is in your mind. It is your attachment which is making that fellow come and present himself. You are projecting him. So anyway, where were we? That when this Yamraj came, it became impossible for him to capture Markandeya, whose mind was completely absorbed. If we can come to this point where at the time of last breath, we are able to remember God and surrender to Him completely at that, or we have been surrendering, we don't see ourselves as body, breath, mind. Our only identity is one, me and Lord Shiva. Hamsa Shiva Soham. Soham Hamsa Shiva. Sa Shiva Soham Hamsa. If only this is the identity, Yamraj cannot do anything to you. Does not mean that you will continue and trouble others. Now I got a new life. Chalo. Not like that. So he came, and yesterday when class got over, see how examples come to me. It's amazing. So after the class was over, suddenly a call came. Swamiji, you will not get angry with me. मैंने कहा क्या हो क्या गया? No, I want to ask you a question because last 2-3 days he is asking same fellow. Which fellow? The one who was with the 73-year Mercedes, not Mercedes fellow, but the one who went to meet the Mercedes fellow, the 73-year-old. Now he comes and calls, Swamiji, I didn't tell you, don't get angry. I said, what happened? Angry kis baat ka hai? No, I had a procedure on my heart and I went to the hospital and I'm still okay. So that means it went well. So I said, no, you have time? I said, tell. He says, when I went to, what is the position of, how important is brain with reference to consciousness? Question. You might not have thought. How important, what is the role of brain with reference to consciousness? This is his question. I said, why are you asking? I have answered this before. No. First you tell. I said, brain is nothing. It's just a matter. Consciousness, brain cannot think. It is only, it's only an equipment. So, just like the horsepower of a car cannot express without the engine, similarly, our consciousness, the individual consciousness or the mind, in other words, cannot express if brain is not there. If you take out the brain, the person will have no cognition of himself or anything else. He says, I same fellow, no? I agree with you. I also was thinking like that only. So what next? Then I went into the hospital, and for 4 days before the hospital, he met me, but he didn't tell me. 4 days I've been thinking, what will it be like? It will be, they must have told him that you will get morphine and everything. So he wanted to catch himself when he was given the morphine. What will happen when you are given the morphine? You will go to, it will slowly it will numb everything and you will lose your consciousness. You lose your, and he went into the hospital, into the operating theatre. He's looking at everything, but his attention is, I have to catch. I'm not going to become unconscious. I'm going to remain conscious. I'm not going to become unconscious. I'm going to remain conscious. And while he was thinking like this, they put, they give injection or they put something, और वो सुई लगी रहती है ना, उसमें से जाता है, तो वो अंदर चला गया. And then he felt, everything is becoming hazy, everything is going, and he is fighting to remain conscious, and eventually it went away. And then afterwards, when the operation was all over, he said, then suddenly I woke up. I said, this is what everyone is going through, not you. But when you came back, did you notice one thing? That everything was happening and you were witnessing everything was happening because thoughts were not coming in your mind. You are awake, but thoughts are not coming. Nothing is registering. He says, yeah. But did you think that way? That I am the witness? No. I said, again you have to go to the hospital. See? So the mind is not affected. No, the mind did get affected. There are so many. We will go, when we go to Kumaon Valley, we'll go to Kanchi Ashram. Kanchi Ashram is our Neem Karoli Baba Ashram. Neem Karoli Baba is the guru of our Steve Jobs and Zuckerberg and
Ramdas?
I don't know.
Richard Albert, who later
Became Ramdas. Okay. Yeah, but when he went there, one Harvard professor, I can't remember, that's Ramdas. Okay. When he went there, he was, that time was 70s or 60s, so he was on drugs, LSD drugs. He used to carry his packet with him every day, one or half of it. And one day he got Neem Karoli Baba, ये क्या है? मैंने कहा LSD है. क्या करते हैं? No, it calms my mind. I get into a blissful state. अच्छा? He used to take 1/4 or 1/2 of each tablet. He took the whole bottle into his mouth. there and then. It's all recorded. And he said, "Beta, आज तो सब लोग मेरे को मारने वाले हैं. Everyone is going to kill me because of me. He took the tablets. Now he is not going to be able to handle." Nothing happened to him. Nothing happened to him. He was absolutely normal. This is disconnecting from the body, accepting that you are the eternal witness, and not coming down to this level that I am only this body. So now, next episode I'll tell you in next class. If he will come back. Huh? So it became impossible for Yamarajji to separate the worshipper from the worshipped. This can happen to you also. See, Mirabai merged into Lord Krishna, isn't it? They couldn't find it. Her body, only Veena was there. Nobody else was there. And Yamarajji is slowly becoming very desperate because that moment had come, and he began to carry out his task, and he threw the death noose around the boy and the Shivalinga that he was tightly embracing with all his strength. And at that moment, from the Shivalinga emanated a powerful form, and that form must be Lord Shiva, and he lifted one foot and gave one kick to Yamarajji. Yamarajji, he couldn't stay there. And Yamaraj on the chest and hurled him over a long distance. Markandeya doesn't know this. Yamarajji was sent away by that form which must be Lord Shiva to protect his devotee. See? And Markandeya was then, when he woke up from his meditation on the Lord, was blessed with a long life. Chirayu Bhava. So now that 16-year-old has become Chiranjeevi. No, that is also a curse. Huh? Living a long life is also a curse. Look at Bhishmacharya. So, for Markandeya it is not a curse. For the Saptarishis it is not a curse because they are ever in tune with the divine. But when you are not in tune with the divine and don't take action where it is required, then it becomes a curse. The victory of Markandeya over Yamarajji is a festival in Shiva temples, and it is called Mrityunjayotsava. And in this way, and this is performed in the lunar month of Ashad, when the moon is in conjunction with the star Pushya. And that is the day it is believed that Markandeya Rishi defeated the Lord Death. So now, either this is the story of the birth and growth and eventual immortality, we can say, of Markandeya ji. But we can also take it that all of us, you, me, everyone who are born from a womb of a mother, we have a predetermined period to live. We don't know that, that is okay. I prayed to the God. If you believe your mother as Matrudeva Bhava, then it might be true. But most of them are not like that. Mothers are also not like that. Children are also not like that. So, all of us are coming with an expiry date. All of us. One and all. Everything that is living has an expiry date. However, but by spiritual sadhana, by absolute single pointed focus on the divine, one can overcome this news of death. We can see when we did, which one we did? We did, वो कौन सी है वो? नहीं नहीं नहीं, it's there on the tongue. Pasashti, Changdev Pasashti. Changdev Pasashti, we did one retreat. 65 verses, Pasashti. So who was Changdev? 1400-year-old yogi. So 1400 compared to you and me, 1400 is already immortal, no? He could have continued. He could have continued doing Kaya Kalp again and again and again and continued. There are, if you read the story of, life story of,
Sant Gyaneshwar Maharaj, it comes.
क्या?
Chandev Maharaj.
हाँ, तो Changdev Pasishti is a text that we took, the dialogue between Changdev Maharaj and Gyaneshwar Maharaj. So that is the very beautiful, straight to the truth. Gyaneshwar Maharaj is guiding Changdev, who has lived 1400 years. Changdev Maharaj was able to harness all the living beings, all enemies of each other, but in his presence, all of them are friends. But when he comes to meet Gyaneshwar Maharaj is able to make an inert wall fly on which they are sitting and brushing their teeth. So when he saw this young fellow is making a brick wall fly, I got only animals and humans. He's got inert. He is great. Came and fell at the feet. So when we practice spiritual sadhana and we can, when done properly and we want to succeed, and like Changdev Maharaj and like at present there is one who is almost 350 years old, is Barfani Baba. You can go to his hut, you can see the photographs of last 30, whenever the photographs started, since then you can see some of them. And 350 years old, even today, just because you have not seen does not mean it does not exist. It is there. So one can postpone the death. One can postpone. Has Markandeya become immortal forever? No, relatively immortal. When this cycle of creation, when this day of Brahma concludes, he will also have to become unmanifest. So, did Changdev Maharaj, he could have continued, but he had the wisdom. He came to Gyaneshwar Maharaj, got the knowledge, got initiated by Muktabai, and eventually realized within this lifetime, not wanting to live longer and longer and longer. What will you do by living longer? Only more data you will collect. Maybe more knowledge you will collect, but what is the point of that knowledge if you have not merged yourself in the divine? And in this way, one can, through sheer strength and a devotion toward that strength is applied towards devotion to the Lord, one can overcome your own prarabdha. Prarabdha means expiry date is fixed. Remember, Patanjali Yoga Sutra says, Jati, Ayu and Bhog. These three are predetermined. Which womb you are going to be born in, how many breaths you are going to take, and what experiences you are going to have in life is already predetermined. You are going to be a dentist, predetermined. You think you did it, right? कुछ नहीं, लिखा हुआ था. So whatever is going to happen in the future is already predetermined for each one of us. Then what do we do if everything is predetermined? Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, ओम नमः शिवाय, श्री राम जय जय राम। भगवान का नाम पकड़ लो, सब कुछ जो होना है वो होना ही है। You know you're going to get hungry at 7 o'clock in the evening? नहीं पता? Are you going to get hungry? You know you are going to go to sleep tonight?
Yes.
So you have got Siddhi. You got Siddhi. You know this class is going to conclude in another half an hour or so, 15 minutes or so. Yeah, Siddhi आ गई तुम्हारे को. You are already predicting the future. This is what Siddhi is. But you are able to suss out what is going to happen in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 day, 2 days, in general. When that span increases, for that same mind cannot be, you have to change something in the mind. You have to make it focused, you have to make it expansive. Then that period of time also becomes available for, it's crystal clear. So here it is said that through Purushartha, through your efforts, Markandeya Maharaj, through his efforts, was able to avoid death, was able to continue to live for a long period of time. He's still there. Huh? So nothing is impossible if you put your mind to it. Don't be a complainer. But you know, my mind goes here, my mind goes there. I know, Swamiji, you are lucky you are not married. But you know, we have children, you know, we have a husband, you know, and we have a wife, you know. I got so much responsibilities. We have to go do the shopping, we have to do this, we have to do that. यार मैं भी तो वही करता हूँ. तुम्हारे पास 2 बच्चे, मेरे पास 10 हैं. जितने तुमको कॉल नहीं, as many calls you don't get, I get calls from morning till evening. मैंने अभी एरोप्लेन मोड पे रखा हुआ है. But we are also living in the same world. You are also living in the same world. How come we are not complaining? Have you ever seen us complaining?
No.
Never. The only complaint is with mom. The complaining is only with her. Right? It's a son-mother relationship there. But with everyone else, we never, no, not one person I have ever complained. Very alert. If by mistake it starts, immediately I'll catch it and stop it. Sometimes there are moments where things are going out of your hand or whatever. And in this way, it is told that through Purushartha, one can overcome the prarabdha. And after that, Markandeya Maharaj, after he defeated Yamraj, or that is death, and he started moving about the earth fearlessly, and he settled down on the banks of the river Pushpabhadra and led a life of deep studies and meditation. And what was the word before? Nitya Nirantar. And what is he doing? Swadhyaya, Swa-adhyaya, contemplating on the self. Nitya Nirantara. This is the tapasya he is doing. This is the Swadhyaya he is doing. And in this way, the next episode in his life is that of Indra. And who is Indra? King of heaven. One. What other position is he having? He is the Lord of your mind. What other position he is having? Swamiji only told. He is the Lord of the hands. He is the one who functions through the hands. So, now Markandeya is becoming more and more divine oriented. Action is not happening, no ahuti coming to him. So, whenever any seeker starts coming to a disposition where his mind is coming under his control, correct? You understood what I said? Mind is becoming single pointed, and as a single pointedness, focus, it and you becoming the witness, the mind is coming under control. But before you get to that witnesshood, this challenge comes. The challenge of all this is challenge from inside. He will send Kama Devata, he will send Urvashi or Menaka, he will send Varuna Devata. So all others will come, and the heat, the fire, the hunger, the thirst, the beautiful girls, the beautiful boys, and something will come, and it will try to hijack your meditation. It will try to test, are you qualified to merge into the divine, or are you still susceptible? These challenges will not come to you here. They'll only come when you are qualified to face those challenges. So here we see the Indra, the king of gods. He started becoming uneasy at the growing spiritual accomplishment of our Markandeya ji, as he is spending more and more time in meditation. So he summoned Kamadeva. Kamadeva, the god of love, the Cupid, and sent him down to the human world along with the most beautiful and accomplished angels to sing and dance around Markandeya ashram and unsettle his mind. Vishwamitra succumbed to it. Markandeya doesn't succumb to it. And when this was, he continues to remain in meditation, and the celestials arrived in the premises of the ashram and created an illusory spring season, a gentle breeze wafting the maddening fragrance of the flowers of love, full moon, crisp, and such other things that would incite anybody's mind. Then they started their divine music and dance, which gradually built up into a crescendo. The sage, who was slightly disturbed by the noise, he got disturbed by the noise. Because this is all happening inside you. He got disturbed, slightly got disturbed by the noise and all the nonsense going on around him, opened his eyes. And to see what was happening in the bright beam of his discrimination and the heat of his yogic powers, all the illusions of Cupid were burnt up, and he, along with his enchantress, beat the Cupid, the Kamdev Maharaj, along with all the Apsaras, beating the retreat. 27th January, beating the retreat, ran back to Indra, and otherwise they would have got burnt. So on one hand we have a story of Vishwamitra who succumbed and after many years realized his mistake and then begins his journey. Markandeya, in the beginning itself, he is so in tune with the divine that he is in tune, at one ment with the divine, that the moment he opens his eyes, everything is burning. Shivji was also like that. When the Kamdev came and disturbed him, he was burnt. And in this way, knowing the exalted state to which Markandeya had risen, and the Indra Bhagwan went to when they saw that Indra was defeated and that the Markandeya Rishi is not disturbed by the Kamadev, the Lord Narayana and the Nara, these two sages, they are two forms of Lord Narayana alone. Remember, Narayana Namastubhyam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam. So that Nara and Narayan, they came down and they are inseparable, and they came to the sage's ashram and congratulated him. And they themselves had once upon a time vanquished Indra at this very game, because when Nara and Narayana were in Badrinath, they were doing meditation, and Indra came and disturbed them, and then they looked, अच्छा तू हमको disturb करेगा. That time Menka, Rambha, all of them came. Cupid, our Kamdev also came. Then at that time Nara and Narayan, they produced Urvashi from their thighs, who was more beautiful than any person, any angel, any Apsara at that time. And when he got, then Indra became infatuated. He said, I want that one. So they remembered their time, that here is a great person. We did not get, we defeated the Kamdev. He is also, Markandeya Rishi also has defeated the Kamdev and congratulated him. And in this way, they had brought out the Urvashi and then given it to Indra. The Nara and Narayana and Nara sages requested him to seek any boon from them which he desired. So whenever now here they have come, they feel that किसी जब कोई छोटा आता है, बच्चा तेरे को बता क्या चाहिए, बच्चा बोलता है chocolate or a present. Yesterday one kid came to our place with his parents. They met in our house only, her house only. They got married there only. Now I have a kid also. So they came, and it is his birthday this Saturday. Every packet he was looking, he was thinking it is a present for him. Every packet he wants to check, is it my present? किसी में मसाला था, किसी में मिर्च थी. हाँ, आप थक रहे हो तो बैठ जाओ, लेट जाओ जाके, ठीक है. And where are we? हाँ, whatever he desired, but the sage had already crossed all the realms of wants. He had gone beyond desire. He had, after defeating death, after defeating Indra, what is there left to desire? No wishes left, and no desires, no wants. So he politely declined their offer. However, when they persisted, Markandeya chose to seek one boon from them. When someone keeps insisting that ठीक है यार दे दे, चल क्या देना दे दे, he chose one thing. What did he say? He said, I want to know, I want to perceive the power of the Lord's Maya. कभी गलती से मत मांगना. Without preparation. हाँ, Narada also asked, भगवान आपकी माया कैसी, how is your Maya, how is your potency? He said, you want to see? Okay, you go to that kingdom. Or I think he said, come back next time, then I'll tell you. He didn't know that the game has begun. Bhagwan is always playing his Leela. So he went, and remember he went to that kingdom where the king said, oh, I'm so happy that you have come, and please bless my daughter. And the daughter comes and he blesses her and falls in love with her. Who? Narad Muni. And then goes back to Narayana. He says, make me like you. Hari, make my face like you so that I can get married to her. Hari also means monkey. So Bhagwan said, okay. But at that time when he had, not my face, sorry, at that time one more sage had come. His name was Parvat Muni. And he also wanted to, when he blessed the young girl, he also fell in love with her. Two sages fallen in love with the same girl. Both of them have access to Vaikuntha. Both of them go at different times to Vaikuntha and meet Narayana. And both of them ask only one boon. What is that? This fellow is a competitor to me. I want to get married, make his face like monkey. Only she should see the monkey face. Everyone else should see the normal face. And when Parvat Muni went, he also asked exactly the same boon. Can you imagine? And they both are sitting there, and and she's looking at them and she's smiling away. They think they're smiling. She's smiling at them. But because she was Lakshmi herself, because of some curse, she had been born there in that kingdom. So Narayana takes a form of a young 16-year-old who is invisible and stands between the two thrones where these two munis are sitting. And she comes, they think she's coming to us. गर्दन आगे आ रही है दोनों की, बंदर वाली गर्दन. तो वहाँ से पर्वत मुनि is doing like this, from here Narad Muni is doing like this, and she goes between the two chairs, and suddenly people are able to see only one hand come, and she gives her hand into his hand and goes away. And then he goes back to Narayana, complains, and eventually is cutting the story short. Then he curses Lord Narayana. When Narayana says, yeah, it was me, he curses him, because when the desire of lust is so much, it leads to anger. And he curses that you will also have to take birth in the human kingdom, and you will have to take your wife or your beloved will be separated from you, and you will cry like I am crying, and you made me look like a monkey, so you will have to take support of all the monkeys. Curse. He says, तथा ठीक है जो तेरे को इच्छा है. उसके बाद बोला, but why did you did it? अरे you should ask before curse, but after curse. So Bhagavan said, because who are you? I am Sage Narada. What did you say? Sage Narada, Narad Muni. So does it behove for a Muni to have lust for a girl? But I have already cursed you. Bhagavan says, it's not your fault. You think I am separate to you? I am only functioning through you. I only made you ask that question, what is Maya? I only sent you there. I only made you curse me. It's all my Leela. Don't feel guilty. Then at that time, that Lakshmi who was sitting next to Narayana, she's smiling before all this. She's smiling. He curses her also. So then remember in Adbhut Ramayana it came. She says, okay, you cursed me, I accept it. Because he has already cursed Narayana, so I accept it. But please add this caveat on it. What is that? I should be born from a woman who has voluntarily drunk the blood of rishis who have voluntarily given their blood. And that is Mandodari. And story you know, I have told, otherwise you can listen on YouTube. So we are talking about here, don't get lost in the story. The story was about, first question was, Narad Muni asked, I want to know what your Maya is. Bhagavan showed it to him through this whole example. Now Markandeya is asking, oh, if you want to give me a boon, I want to perceive the power of Maya. And at that very moment, while he is sitting there, the Narayana were very amused at this wonderful but strange request, because nobody has ever come to know what is Maya. And the wise men and seekers without an exception had so far fervently implored to the Lord to get released from Maya. And here Markandeya is asking, I want to see Maya. Nobody wants to get caught up in Maya. Nobody wants to get caught up in mind. That's why you go to sleep every night. So, but here was Markandeya, who had all the knowledge and wisdom of the world and the heavens, and willingly seeking to perceive the power of Maya. And this Maya, it cannot be, unfortunately, be demonstrated through words. He cannot perceive. He has to go through the experience. As much as Narayana could tell Narad Muni about Maya, he will not get confused. Now he has gone through the experience, then he will come to know. Similarly, Markandeya Maharaj also needs to go through a demonstration of what Maya is, then he will understand this is Maya. Words will not suffice. And therefore, And since the request had come from an accomplished sage, the power of Maya should be demonstrated to him at the cosmic level by which even the denizens of the heaven are deluded and which had not been witnessed even by them. Narnarayan also had not witnessed it. And so the boon was granted and Narnarayan departed from there. Now, the experience of Maya. What is the experience of Maya of our Markandeya Maharaj? We will we'll dive into this episode in our next class. अभी time हो गया. ॐ पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. Sit quietly for a moment. Hari Om. Now, next two classes only stories. Enjoy. The lullaby.